Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's second video. Going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's second video. Day 10 will take us to the 21st of May, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles. Maybe around a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at the CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks, and we're going to begin having a little mini storm watch, because there is a risk of some thunderstorms coming up tomorrow, and I'll have a little bit more about that in a moment. Just say that first video today was our weekend forecast, so check that one out if you would like to do that. We had an internet outage here at the towers yesterday, and it got resolved this morning. I don't know what the problem was, but it suddenly came back up about 10:30. 11 o'clock this morning, so we're back online now, but that meant there was no 6 AM UK weather forecast or EC42 there for the UK and Ireland this week. All of that stuff will be back in the next few days and whatnot. Right then, so thank you so much everybody for tuning in. Hope you're having a lovely Saturday. Let's have a look at what's happening with the risk of thunderstorm before we do the 10 to 14 days. So we're going to start off with the fact chart. This is the human interpretation of models by forecasters at the UK Met. We can see a high pressure is still in controllable weather, but is slipping away to the east with lower pressure developing out to both the west and also to the south. This is 6 AM tomorrow morning. Now we go on another 12 hours and we find that we've got this cold front sitting across Ireland, and we've got these convergence lines appearing across more western regions as well. These convergence lines are likely to be the trigger for those heavy downpours and potential thunderstorms. That's the fact chart for midnight on Monday. And then we find that the convergence lines are pushing eastwards and also into the north as well, with a developing area of low pressure southwest. And beyond that into Monday, this low then takes over. So after the initial funky breakdown, we go into an unsettled pattern with low pressure bringing spells of more persistent rain as we go through the early part of next week. So our brief period of high pressure, not set to last, low pressure returns and takes control of the weather again as we go into the beginning of next week. Now let's have a look at some model data and see how these showers are being forecasted about. This is the standard GFS, first of all, from the weather outlook. And we can see that not much happening through today. Maybe a few heavy downpours across some parts of southern southeastern Scotland into the far northeast of England. Otherwise, a lot of dry weather through the rest of the day and overnight tonight as well. Tomorrow, but we start to see things developing. By around middle of the day, there's heavy downpours breaking out through Wales, southwest England and the Midlands, also into Northern Ireland and western Scotland. And then those showers and downpours become more widespread. You see, particularly focused on central, western and northern regions, not as much in the far south and east there. And those showers and downpours gradually pushing northeastwards as we go through the course of Sunday night into Monday morning. And then we've got that next low coming in through Monday itself, bringing out breaks of rain with it. And that becomes rather heavy and slow moving through some central parts of the country on Tuesday. Right, so let's have a look at some high res then. That's the standard GFS. This is how the DWD icon model is looking again from the weather outlook. So not showing that many showers in the southeast of Scotland through the course of this afternoon and this evening. Tomorrow we find that the showers are particularly during the afternoon through Wales, Northern Ireland and also western southwestern Scotland. 1 or 2 further eastwards, but not as long, not much as the GFS was showing there either. So really restricted to far western regions with both showers and downpours through tomorrow. And then the wet weather comes piling up to the southwest as we go through Monday, bringing lots of heavy rain in with it. This is UKV, again, another high-res model. Let's see how this one is doing. So, again, that shows both showers, though, across southern and also southeastern parts of Scotland, the far northeast of England, potentially, through this afternoon and this evening. Could be some thunderstorms mixed in with those. It will be quite scattered, but there's a few of them around. Overnight, lots of dry weather. Those showers quickly fade out this evening, and it becomes dry tomorrow. Dry start. But showers are developing through the course of the afternoon. Again, particularly through Wales and also into parts of the Midlands. Not that much in the far south and southeast. Those showers and storms pushing in towards northern England, Scotland and Northern Ireland as well. That's a setup by 6 p.m. tomorrow, so most of the showers are to the north of the Midlands, particularly through northwestern parts of England, western big thunderstorms look likely, and into Scotland as well. So Scotland, Northern England getting the storms through tomorrow evening, as they start off through Wales and Midlands and then push off northwards. Showers rumble on into the early hours of Monday, especially in that northeastern corner, and then in comes this wet weather from the Atlantic as we go through Monday and on into Tuesday as well. That's more persistent. That's more persistent rain rather than anything particularly thundering. And then finally, we've got WRF. This is a high-res model from Metacella. So again, showing those showers up quite nice this afternoon and this evening through Scotland in particular. And makes one of those showers perhaps than some of the other model output that we've seen, particularly Icon. They fade out overnight anyway, but tomorrow we start to see those showers getting going in northern, central, western regions. Again, suggests thunderstorms here through parts of Wales and Midlands into northern England and also western, southwestern Scotland. Not all that much in the far south and the east, and the storms generally pushing northwards overnight, sending into Monday up into Scotland. And then we have that wet weather coming in with persistent rain heading in from the Atlantic through Monday and on into Tuesday. So it looks like there will be some thundery weather through the course of tomorrow afternoon and evening. Wales, Northern England, Northern Ireland and Scotland, most at risk. Some of those storms could get into the Midlands, especially the West Midlands at times. Areas further south and east of that doesn't look like there's going to be all that much in the way of thunder, and through the course of the evening and overnight, Sunday to Monday, those storms will gradually push northwards into the northern half of the country, where they probably kind of start to fade out a little bit. Certainly by the time we get through to Monday morning. Then we have that further band of wet weather coming in from the Atlantic from Monday on into Tuesday. That's more persistent rain rather than anything particularly thundery. Now, that's how it's looking at the moment. Probably the first sort of widespread thundery outbreak of the season. So if you get a storm and you want it, then enjoy it. But to make sure you stay safe, lightning is a pretty dangerous phenomenon. And of course, there could be some flash flooding with these downpours and storms as well. Right, okay, so that's mini storm watch done. Let's go on to 10 to 14 day event, having a look at the central England temperature. First of all, CT is currently sitting at 13.5. Yes, we have made it into the 13s. That is 2.3 degrees above 61 to 99 average. That is provisional to yesterday, to the 10th of May. So very warm first 10 days of the month, to say the least. These are GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. We're at London today. The red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for London, starting off above average at the moment, really quite warm, but the upper air temperature will start to come down and revert closer to normal, still a little bit above average, but reverting closer to normal as we go through next week, and that's generally where we're staying then, really. So overall, hovering close to or slightly above average through the third week and on into the final week of May. Precipitation-wise, well, of course, plenty of dry weather today, but turning more showery over the next few days, and especially into next week, there will be some spells of rain, and this looks like it could be a wetter period as well. That's next weekend, any time from about the 17th through to 21st of May. Some rather big rainfall spikes coming through them. Temperature anomalies on the 11th to 19th of May, above average, a warmer than average week to come. And precipitation anomalies from the 11th to 19th of May, a little bit wetter than normal. That's a change on what we've had over the past week or so. Latest weather map from earthnullschool.net shows that high pressure is still in control, sitting to the east of the country and bringing in these easterly winds, but we have got low pressure out in the Atlantic, and this low pressure will be bringing the breakdown, as we just saw, in the next 24 to 48 hours. Right, so let's start going through the all-important chart data. Remember, South Malaysia UK Met Euro run is looking midnight Tuesday. Low pressure is to west-southwest of the country, and that low pressure remains in control of weather then as we go through the remainder of the week next week. Gradually filling out and becoming more of a shallow trough in an area of low pressure. That's how we look as we get to next weekend with a low sitting across Germany and the Low Countries, and a ridge out in the Atlantic. So by then putting rather cool northwesterly wind, it's still looking rather showery. Icon, again, with low pressure just to the west-southwest on Tuesday, and then low pressure remains in control, centre to the south-southwest country through most of next week. Ends up as like a shallow trough by next weekend, and that would still bring more heavy downpours to England and Wales in particular. It is a rather drier pattern as we push up further north, though. Again, no KMA update today, so we move on to GFS midnight run once more. We see that low pressure just to the southwest of the country on Tuesday. Bring more heavy downpours with it. Through the course of next week, we have that trough centred over and to the south of the country. That will bring heavy showers, maybe even longer spells of rain, possibly thunder to England and Wales. Always looks a rather drier pattern for northern England and on into Scotland. And then as we go up toward day 9, 10, well, we get rid of that trough to the south, we get a low developing to the north. So that changes the distribution of the unsettled weather. It probably turns a bit drier down in the south and turns more unsettled up in the north. That low bringing some wet weather in with it. And rather cool northwesterly winds as well. Beyond that, just stays rather changed until the very end of GFS midnight run, when high pressure then gets back in. So as we get to the end of the midnight GFS, which gets us 27th of May, we're back under an area of high pressure, bringing mostly dry weather then. That, of course, is Bank Holiday Monday. And our next series of Bank Holiday forecasts will be starting probably on Monday, I would have thought. The GFS 6Z, again, shows that area of low pressure just to the southwest on Tuesday. That brings wet weather with it. And then through next week, we have a trough of low pressure centred across England and Wales with further heavy showers, downpours, possibly thunderstorms mixed in. By around day 9, 10, the low gets out of the way and a ridge starts building out to the Atlantic, bringing drier weather in with it. But that doesn't last very long, with that to like a trough to the south and high pressures to the north as it gets extended. So that will bring more heavy showers into the southern half of the country. Always looking a little bit drier though further north. By the end of the GFS 6Z run, we're pulling in a north-northwesterly wind, looking rather cool and showery for Bank Holiday Monday then. But of course, that's a long way out, over 2 weeks away, and is therefore subject to change. If you enjoyed the video, please do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. Why not drop a comment? Let us know what you think about this and all of our videos and content. Don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Need to put on 40 subscribers to get ourselves to 18.2k. Now, if you could give us a sub, that'd be incredible. It would be amazing, and we will thank you so much for doing that. GEM, again, with low pressure to the south and southwest on Tuesday. That brings spells of rain with it. And then we go through next week, keeping a trough of low pressure to the south and the east. So always showery conditions most likely there. Perhaps a little bit drier further north and west. By day 9, 10, a ridge building in the south should settle things a little bit there. But meanwhile, further north, probably turning a bit more unsettled, actually, with low pressure not far from northern Scotland. And then finally, the ECM, again, has that area of low pressure to the southwest country on Tuesday, and then sitting to the south through most of next week, bringing spells of rain to southern and eastern regions. Well, showers at the very least, possibly spells of rain as well. We get through to next weekend, the low pressure moves off to Germany, and a ridge starts building from the northwest, so gradually things begin to settle as we get through to around days 8, 9 and 10. Probably quite cool though, bring the wind in from a northeasterly direction. This is a precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from TibetShow.com. So here come those showers and storms tomorrow, especially through central, northern and also western regions. Not that many getting through to the far south and the east. And then Monday, Tuesday, well, in comes this wet weather. That's persistent rain rather than anything thundering. And that's replaced by sunshine and showers then through the remainder of next week. Some quite heavy rain flirting with our southeast corner there by next weekend as well. Heading up toward day 10, then high pressure ridges down from the north and things start to turn drier. These are the yachts on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10 from the Icelandic Met Office. Gets us to the 21st of May. 28 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure to the north, and winds will be coming in from the northeasterly direction. With that, that's drier, but could be a little bit on the cool side. And then we've got 23 with high pressure to the south and low pressure to the north, looking rather westerly, with northern regions getting the most showery conditions. When in 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got, and it will get us to the 26th of May. 14 members of the ECM ensembles with low pressure dominating the weather from the Atlantic. 11 with high pressure ridging in from the Atlantic into northern Europe. 10 with high pressure towards Scandinavia. Lower pressure to the south and southwest. We've got 9 with low pressure in Scandinavia. High pressure in the Atlantic. Could be a little bit showery and a bit on the cool side with that one. And then 7 with high pressure just out to our west, and winds coming in from a northeasterly direction. A range of options, but on the balance of probability, we might see high pressure coming back, actually, as we go up towards the bank holiday weekend. CFS V2, finally, these are 500 millibar height anomaly, breaking down into weekly periods. The first week period takes us from the 11th to the 17th of May. The next week has high pressure over Scandinavia, low pressure in the Atlantic. We bring up a southerly wind, so quite warm with those winds from south, but also more unsettled, especially so for the west. Week 2 will be the 18th to the 24th of May, with high pressure over Scandinavia and winds coming in from an east or a southeasterly direction there. So that's probably turning drier and staying warm. Week 3 will be the 25th to the 31st of May. High pressure is more or less over top of the country then, so lots of dry, fine, and potentially warm conditions with that one. And then week 4 will be the 1st to the 7th of June. High pressure centred to the east, but ridging into country as well. Again, that should bring quite a lot of dry and warm weather. So don't look as though, despite the more unsettled interruption early next week, actually, for the next few weeks, high pressure is going to be more in the ascendancy and should bring quite a lot of dry and warm weather through the second half of May, possibly even lasting into early June. But of course, that's more speculative, and we shall see. Okay, we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, please do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. Why not drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos and content. And don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. I'll just tell us happening on our channel tomorrow. We're going for 6 AM UK weather forecast. We're going to have our next summer update. Now, that's going to be quite an interesting watch. That'll be released tomorrow morning. And then we will be live, connectivity issues permitting, at 6 PM. So we're going to live stream our 10 to 14 day, and of course, it's a Sunday live stream. Will include some long range into that as well. So I shall see you tomorrow evening at 6 PM. But before then, we will have 6 AM forecast and also the latest summer update. You enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and for this one, that's all for now. And thanks so much.